got this wing, or this set of wings, dried, or it's been washed and dried. So the way I cut this, if I didn't already go over it in the previous part of the video, I just cut right along the edge of these bigger underwing coverts. Cut right along this edge, and after I wire it, I just flip that back over and I'll glue it down along this edge right here. And then that will, in theory, those feathers will lay over there and it'll give you the illusion of there's no seam. It'll just be, you know, it'll cover it up, but it's going to be up under the body anyway, so it's not really going to matter. The same wiring method as the flying turkey. You can go back and watch that real quick, or before if you want to. But the only difference is I'm going to use different gauge wire. 14 gauge for the wrist. 12 gauge for the ulna. And the 10 gauge for the humerus. And those lengths are 8 inches, 9 inches, and 10 inches. So 14 gauge, 8 inches, 12 gauge, 9 inches, 10 gauge, 10 inches. So get them wired up and then we'll put them on the form. Wings wired, tail's done, body set up. I got to drill my wing holes where my wing wire is going. This is just a 3/4 inch paddle bit, I think. 7/8. Sorry. So I added a little bit of cotton batting on the inside of the radius and ulna, just to kind of give it a little bit more shape along it here. Oop, don't do that. We're bending these wires to go back into the form. Don't leave them bent out too much, because what will happen is if you try to push it down in there with a loop like that, when it goes down in that hole, this tag end will lock it in, and you're gonna break the form to get it back out. So while you're setting wings, close that loop a little bit, so when you pull it back out, you can get it in and out relatively easy. When using Shane's bodies, it's always good to remember that if you're setting it up before you put the skin on, the slope of the wing position follows the contour of the body down to where the base of the tail is. Also, it's really important to remember that when a turkey's strutting or whatever, so if this is a roosted bird, of course, but if it was going to be a strutting turkey, rather than, you know, to get this wing closer to the ground and me pulling this humerus down and then doing my wing is too far down, that humerus or that radius annulus stays up in this pocket right here, and he just bends his wrist down to come to the ground, versus coming down and then back, because then his wing, then it's too far back. So that wing stays up and he just bends his wrist straight down. Because if you look at how the wear pattern on their feathers are, you can generally get an idea of where that wing sits whenever he's strutting. But since this is going to be a bird that's roosted, his wings are going to be up a little tighter, so you can see his spurs a little bit with his head stretched out. So I'm going to get the wings carded up and get them a little bit more symmetrical, and then they'll be ready to dry. So as you saw earlier, after I finished drying the wing, I did the majority of my grooming while it was on the table in front of me. And if you handle it right, you shouldn't have to do a whole lot more after the fact. And I'm not going to do anything else to this, except for just fix a few feathers here or there that got a little out of place. And that'll pretty much be it. I'll let it dry. Make sure this is all good. After about a week, and then we can put the back and put the chest on it, and the neck and the head, that'll be it. So, real quick, shout out to Shane for providing me the bodies for these next couple of videos I'm doing. For the most part, it's the only it's the only body that I use. Like I've said in the past, I use Callie's flying body, but for strutting, walking, or anything else, I use Shane's. You can get them in McKinsey catalog, and that's about it. That is the only place you can find them. So, also, if you're interested in taking a class, Shane Smith and John Beard also do classes. I think they do them once a year. If you've got any questions about possibly wanting to take a class with them, leave a comment down below. If you like the video, hit the subscribe button. Tools that I use will be in the link in the description also for my Amazon affiliate. So, thank y'all for watching. See you next time.